Are you tired of the same old sports media? Are you tired of hot takes, arguments, and questions that are just completely off base?
Luckily, we have something for you. Touchdowns and tangents of the people, for the people, by people who care about the culture and all its concise commentary.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Scary. College football. We're getting closer and closer to the NCAA,
Hey, let's go.
They say it's a Madden skin, but then they also say it's not a Madden skin. Who knows?
I don't know. I'm just going to say we might not got any of that first half of the show because none of the bars were lighting up, but now they're lighting up. So, yeah, I don't know.
Sad.
Whatever. Just charge it to the game.
Damn, sound guy.
Well, it's working now, so.
That doesn't make me feel better. That's what you said about the Taylor Rooks interview.
So none of that was recorded?
I don't have no idea until we listen to it.
Max was dropping bars. That's crazy. Or it might be he's just fucking with us.
Welcome to being a one-man show. Shit's hard.
If you want to chip in to buy Pete a new laptop.
It's not even the laptop. It just was something with the settings. Or change the settings. It's not even the laptop. It's the settings.
He'd have to pay his brother to run the boards. That's child labor laws against that.
Experience put on the resume, man.
Oh, man. So, the date's moving closer. Media days are next month. The first one is Big 12. And Mountain West Media Day is going to be like June 10th and 11th. I wish that shit was the 11th and the 12th. Because Big 12 Media Day is on the 9th and the 10th. But then it overlaps. It'll be at the Raiders Stadium for 2 days. But then also Mountain West is going to be at the Circle Hotel like it was last year. I wish they would have said, hey, let's not step on each other's toes when it comes to our media days because there's like 30 fucking days in a month. And let's like just pick 2 to where we don't run into each other. But hey, there you go.
So let me ask you guys this about college this year.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your hot teams? Who's your hot stars? What are we looking out for? Who are you guys looking out for? It's early. Just start.
Kenny said Arizona.
Arizona, yeah, because their receiver is looking like a Samoan Mike Evans.
Not Texas. Not Ohio State.
Kenny hates Texas.
I don't believe in QN yours because how do you have 2 receivers that fast? And you had a first-round pick at running back, and you couldn't beat Washington, and you had all that offensive firepower. All right, Oregon and USC are a couple of the Big Ten teams who had their night games announced, and like Friday games announced. Mm-hmm. So let's see. All right, Friday night on Fox this season. I'm gonna just run down on Friday. I'm gonna have to actually watch Michigan State play football. It's so fucking nasty. So starting Friday, September 13th, we got Arizona and Kansas State on Fox. That's a Friday, 8 p.m. Friday after that, Illinois, Nebraska. That's another 13-20 mid-off. Washington at Rutgers. Then Oregon State at Michigan. Northwestern at Maryland. Why the fuck we have to watch that on national television? Oregon at Purdue. Rutgers at USC, which is October 25th. That's a crazy day for me. Wow. And it's 11 o'clock at fucking night. Bro, God. I am getting no sleep the next day. That's wild. To have Rutgers and USC play at 11 o'clock at night, bro. It's Eastern time. These are all Eastern times. I should have started with that. So 8 p.m., Rutgers, USC on a Friday night? Fuck. All right, Iowa, UCLA at 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. In November, UCLA at Washington. November, Purdue at Michigan State. Utah at UCF. And then the Mountain West Championship is Friday, December 6th, which I might go to that one too. But we'll see.
What about Colorado, man?
Well, Colorado might win 4 games. I don't believe it until...
Didn't they strengthen up the line a little bit?
No, they just swapped out the Louis that they said was Louis, but it turned out to be Louis for other portal linemen. And then they lost their best recruit.
Oh,
Best offensive lineman recruit. So,
where'd he go?
I think he went to Maryland or some shit. He was supposed to go to Colorado, but then some weird shit happened. But
How do you think USC and UCLA are going to do in the Big Ten this year?
I think USC, if they're lucky, they win 7 games. Because I don't see them beating Ohio State. Ohio State is fucking loaded. Their whole defense came back, with the exception of like 3 people. And their offense is better. Even though they don't have Marvin Harrison Jr., from top to bottom, they got the Ole Miss running back. They got Master Teague. They got 2 NFL running backs, a couple NFL receivers, and the QB they have is pretty good too. Will Howard out of Kansas State. So,
How do you think Texas, Oklahoma do in the SEC?
I think Oklahoma's gonna have a better time, but I think Texas will have a better record. Texas proved they could beat Bama. Bama's gone. Bama's nothing like they were. That was the last great Nick Saban team. That was the last great Bama team for a while. So Bama might be just a 6-pack of ass. LSU and USC play each other to start off the season. If USC claps LSU in Vegas, and they don't have Jaden Daniels, bro.
I don't think they will, man.
They might. USC's been training tough. They got, their secondary was instantly better. Me watching the spring game, I can see the coaching. They got 6'3", 6'4" corners who are good. One came from the SEC. So when it comes down to it, USC will be better. The offense, they got receivers. They got one receiver. There's a 47-inch vertical. This motherfucker is sticky hands. They're babies on offense. But they're studs. And then they also have Zachariah Branch, who's a freshman All-American special teamer. And he was running he said the fastest he ever ran was a 4.37. I was like, well, how fast are you now? This is your second year in college. And he was running track. Everybody knows when you run track and you play football, you get faster. And for him, he got faster. They got him running 24, 25 miles an hour, which is crazy. So there's going to be a lot of great Friday games, but I think people aren't going to really care about some of these Big Ten games at night. Rutgers, USC should be an easy win, but Rutgers might beat USC. You never know.
So you think Rutgers might be USC, but you think USC's going to clap LSU?
It's LSU's a weird team. Brian Kelly, when he doesn't have a great offense, he's mid. Just look at his Notre Dame days. That team that was 12-0 at Notre Dame that had Manti Te'o on it, one of the worst teams to ever make a national title game. That offense was dog shit. Everett Golson was terrible. They couldn't get the ball downfield. They couldn't do shit. Clemson was clapping them. Bama was clapping them. They had a great defense, but...
This is the year that the 12 team starts, right? Or is that next year?
No, this is the year.
This is the year.
12-team playoff, or not the 12-team playoff, but it's top 7 or some shit. But it's going to be a playoff. But the transfer portal's kind of cooled down. But second year in a row, which to get back to Colorado, second year in a row, Colorado sold out their season tickets. That's cool. Penn State has a $700 million renovation coming to Happy Valley for their football services. The Miami Hurricanes are another team you should watch, too. Just because they paid all that money in NIL for all those players. All those 5 stars. I don't know about Florida State. They got, by the way, the Big Ten got $34 million last year. So, the money's rolling in. The Big Ten and the SEC are single-handedly about to renegotiate a TV deal for the playoffs. They announced the semifinals for the playoffs, too. The Rose Bowl will actually still be a semifinal to get to the national championship game. So they're still keeping the lore of the Rose Bowl. And
As
it's
they
gonna
should.
rotate. But I mean, let's be honest. I've said it before. Rose Bowl got some of the worst fucking seats I've ever been in any stadium. The worst seats, the most uncomfortable.
Bro, the Coliseum
it's
is
just
not
historic.
that much better.
I've blacked out in the
Coliseum
Coliseum
is
seats.
not that much better.
I've blacked out in
You never
Coliseum
even gone
seats,
into the Rose
slept
Bowl
like a
for a
baby.
game.
Yes, I have.
When?
Several games, actually.
When?
I got invited to a UCLA game years ago when I was a kid. I got invited. I went to NFLPA Bowl a bunch of times.
That doesn't count. I'm talking
That does
about for a
count.
real game. An
Nah.
actual UCLA game.
Bro, they couldn't even get 30,000 people for Alabama State. So what are you talking about?
Okay, but I'm still saying, were you one of those 20,000 people?
No.
All right.
I was
then.
at the USC game.
So you can't talk shit. Go to a game and then talk shit. Spend money on
Now,
a
that,
ticket.
that UCLA USC
Spend money
game
on a
from
ticket
2 years ago,
and then complain.
from Caleb's sophomore season, that UCLA USC game was lit. That whole environment was lit.
And you didn't even go in. And you had a good ass time.
I did. And you kept saying UCLA was going to win. And we got back to Max's house. I was like, no, USC's going to win. That was a fun night.
Anything else on college football before we switch up?
Nah, ain't shit really happened. That shit's on Hulu. Oh, fuck. I got to go get Hulu and watch it.
I got Hulu. That's Hulu, I mean.
Gang got Hulu? Does the gang have Hulu? Because the
In the
gang got
room.
I got Netflix. So if y'all need Netflix,
You've been saying that since you moved in. You haven't put that shit in there.
I mean, y'all never want to watch Netflix, so I don't ever put in the passcode.
You can put that shit in the TV or the Xbox. Easy. No problem.
I'll do it. I'll do it right now once the show's
been
over.
say that for 6
I'll do it as soon as the show's over.
I haven't watched Netflix in a year.
See what I mean? You missing a lot of great shit on Netflix, by the way. There's a lot of good stuff.
All right, here we
I was watching the Read the Rainbow documentary. That shit was lit.
go. All right, first up, Christian McCaffrey signs a 2-year extension. He got like $38 million. Touchdown or turnover, Kenny.
Touchdown.
Were you just shitting on CMC out there all afternoon?
No, I'm
Saying he was going to be a fantasy bust.
yeah.
And anyone who takes him number
Because
one's an
they
idiot.
took a receiver in the first
Yeah,
round.
keep that same energy, man.
No, he deserved to get paid. He's the reason they did get blown out in the Super Bowl. Because you still got to pay Purdy. And you got to pay Ayuk. And you might have to trade Debo and Kittle. Being real.
What is he, 27?
Who?
CMC.
About 28. Getting real close to 30.
Going back to what you're saying, though, that's the cost of winning, man.
He has a better career than Zeke.
He's 28.
When you win, that's the cost of winning.
He's actually older than Zeke.
You got to pay those guys.
I told Pete, I said, Nick Chubb and CMC are here to replace Zeke. And he didn't want to believe me.
Damn, they're actually the same age. Damn, they're actually like a week apart. They're a month apart in age.
And Zeke is nowhere near the player that CMC is. That's crazy.
Here we go.
Same 40 time. Same exact 40 time.
Anything else?
Zeke could never be the pass blocker.
Yeah, but it's still Zeke.
Actually, no, Zeke's a better blocker, but like CMC's a better receiver. But Zeke is a better running back. But like CMC has more vision. Has better vision. Like could actually be an all-pro receiver if he wanted to. Zeke might not have 700 yards rushing this year. And you're not taking him in fantasy. I don't believe you.
I mean, they still have the same amount of 1,000-yard seasons.
He ain't got 1,000 and 1,000
And
seasons.
actually,
he ain't got 1,000 and 1,000 seasons under his belt.
Zeke has more rushing and more touchdowns in his career.
More rushing touchdowns?
Well, yeah, both.
He don't have 1,000-yard receiving seasons.
Yeah, you're right. Neither does Christian McCaffrey. He has one 1,000-yard receiving.
That's
yard.
still more.
You said
that's,
plural.
I said he still don't have any You need
You didn't
1,000
know.
yards
You didn't say
receiving
any.
seasons.
You said he didn't have 1,000-yard receiving seasons.
He has none.
Plural.
Zeke has none.
Mister
Zeke
always
has
get
none.
on my head about not talking right, but then when I get on his head, he
No,
just
you
really
don't know how to
bigly
say
denies
words,
it.
actually.
Yeah, we all know that. That's not new.
I just occasionally get numbers and facts kind of mixed up sometimes in my excitement.
All right, Whoopi.
Would you just call me Whoopi Goldberg?
Yeah.
I'll fucking kill you, bro. Like,
All right, next one.
that would mean you're Ted Danson.
man,
That's
you didn't ask me-
disgusting.
You didn't ask me is that a touchdown or a turnover.
All right, Max. Is it a touchdown or a turnover?
Disrespectful
CMC
host.
extension.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I think that's a touchdown with a extra point, with a 2-point conversion, man.
LaMelo was right about you. LaMelo was right about you, Pete.
Come on, man.
Why?
Come on, man. If he was on the Raiders, you guys would be.
He would be creaming himself.
How crazy would you be going right now,
He would cry.
bro?
We could have got him for what they traded for him. They didn't give him a first round pick.
You gotta pay where you gotta pay when someone has the talent, man. You gotta pay them. And
The Raiders don't believe in doing that.
I mean,
Amari Cooper, Khalil Mack, Hall of Fame careers, and they won't even be remembered as Raiders.
I think it's a touchdown plus a 2-point. I think it's a touchdown because the Niners retain one of the best offensive players in the league, and it's a 2-point conversion because the running backs that aren't getting paid, they're going to start getting paid again. So
I think that might take a couple of years.
at least
Because Taylor got paid already. Chubb got hurt.
At least it's going to be going up rather than the other way.
Who's
around.
going to get paid, though? What running back? Bijan Robinson? In like 3 years?
Someone has a great season, they'll get paid.
I mean, the contracts were kind of there. But
They're making what?
I don't see
7,
any
8?
running backs like
Making like 7-8 mil, bro.
I don't see any running backs under the age of 24 who are next. ETN is next, actually. I'll take that back. ETN is next.
Next one, Darren Waller, current Giants tight end, former Raiders tight end, is expected to retire. Touchdown or turnover? You can go first, Max, since Kenny's sleeping. He's narcoleptic.
Ozempic side effect.
I
just
still
cough too
see
much,
your
I fall
shadows in my room.
Hey, why did Frank Ocean come on? And I was like, what the fuck?
This guy,
A tornado? Wait, there's not a tornado in my room. What the fuck is this? I'm just dizzy.
As far as him retiring, you know what? I mean, he still has juice in the tank, but
What kind of juice? Fucking Nas? Fucking Four Loko?
he has juice in the tank, man. and I
He
think,
fumbled a WNBA player that's probably never going to date men again. He ruined it for all of us.
all right, let me finish.
Sorry.
He has still juice in the tank on the field. He's going to a team that, man, they need help. They're also going to have the number 1 pick this year.
Bro, the Giants are so bad, Malik Neighbors called off his Rookie of the Year bet with Jaden Daniels.
They need.
He's a 6th overall pick in the draft. He's like, I'm playing with this piece of shit? Oh, I'm getting no yards.
They need help, or else it's going to be the top 1, like 2, 3 picks. So, I think it's a turnover if he retires, it's a turnover for the Giants. But I mean, hey, if he's going through it, if he's in his feels, and
Better man up and act like nothing's wrong.
Hey, if he can't handle it, then that's a touchdown for him, bro. Get out of there.
He already got paid. I mean, he already got paid for the Giants, so it's kind of like if they cut him.
I'm going to say it's
They
a
paid most of his
turnover
contract.
because none of us want to hear any more of his music.
Anymore. Like, I'd rather take a double shot of Ozempic.
All right, next one. Justin Jefferson got paid. Got a record-breaking deal for a non-quarterback.
God tier.
Touchdown or turnover?
Touchdown. Years, 140 million, 110 million guaranteed, and the Raiders passed on him. So did the Eagles. How the fuck did the Eagles pass on Justin Jefferson, somehow get A.J. Brown and fucking Smith, and pay A.J. Brown, and the Raiders still don't have a quarterback? The Vikings are smart.
It's a touchdown until J.J. McCarthy starts tucking on the red zone and taking all the touchdowns, and everyone's pissed in fantasy. But yeah,
Aaron Jones was the only person who'd be mad about that.
You guys are gonna raise your eyebrows when I say this. I think it's a turnover, and here's why. He didn't get paid enough. He should have got paid more
waited.
for how valuable he is, man. He should be getting paid a whole lot more. He can make a bad quarterback look great.
Well, the worst part is Jamar is going to get a new deal, and
Jamar's going to get more than him.
He's going to get more than him.
Look, bro, he got Kirk Cousins. What? How much did he get Kirk Cousins? Pretty much.
He got Kirk Cousins that Falcons deal.
That's what I'm saying. He ain't get paid enough.
That's about $100 million with another $50
That's the only reason why I call it a turnover. I mean, it's a touchdown because he's setting the bar for the wide receivers again. Setting the bar again.
Yeah.
But I
$37 million a year or something like that.
I think he's more valuable than that. I think he should be getting paid more.
But I mean, in 4 years, he can still re-up and get another deal. So I think that's why he's already has like the most receiving yards ever for somebody their first 2, 3, and 4th year in the league.
But how much of these teams?
He had 1,000 yards in only like 9 games, bro.
How much?
He missed a huge chunk of the season, still at 1,000 yards.
How much are the Vikings making off him, man? How much is this? How much is McCartney? How much?
McCarthy's they're gonna make a lot.
How much is he gonna make off him, bro? Come on,
you got Hawkinson, who's probably gonna get paid again. I think they already paid Hawkinson when he got there, but Hawkinson's there. You got a left tackle. You got a good offensive line. You got a good running back, who's the Packers all-time leading rusher. You got Jordan Addison, who's a first-round pick, a receiver. Now is the time to want to strike with your offense. And McConnell's an aggressive play caller. Like, he was a quarterback in the league. Strong arm, ran a 4.6, 4.5. Out of San Diego State. He just wasn't, like, he didn't make it as a pro quarterback, but he made it all the way from, OC to head coach. And he has that offense moving in the right direction. And I think the NFC North is going to be a bloodbath. But at least everybody there got paid. Now, Jordan Love will probably be the next QB to get paid. So it'll be interesting to see, like, the salary cap doesn't really exist. They just say it does. Mm-hmm. It's all moving money around.
And that's what I'm saying. You got paid more.
150 guaranteed, I would have been cool with that.
All right.
But they run salary cap hell. So the fact that they did all that, got Daniil Hunter off the books, and paid Jefferson, that's amazing.
All right, so this next one is basically either you got a hot take to share or you just got a random story you want to talk about that this makes you think of. So first one is the Bills signing Olympic gold medalist wrestler Gabe Steveson to a standard 3-year contract. He's expected to play D-line. His first time ever playing football was this workout with the Bills that got him a contract. Take or tangent, Kenny?
This one has bullshit. Lesnar at least played football in high school. Like, was a great wrestler. Gable Stevenson's an even better wrestler than him. But he flopped in the WWE with dudes who were football players. Like Von Wagner was a tight end at UCF a couple years ago. Braun Breaker, Rick Steiner's fucking son, played running back at Kennesaw State, ran a 4.48. And he fucking runs the ropes at 23 miles an hour. Like, that motherfucker's a monster. And you never heard of Rick Steiner's son playing football until I just said those numbers just now. Stevenson couldn't make it. He had the size. Wrestling is very hard to do. And being good at wrestling is very hard to do. Even though he's a god-tier Olympic-level athlete. Still couldn't do it. Couldn't talk. Total flop. They canceled his push, even after Vince left the company. And it was Shawn and Triple H. Like, they canceled his push and just iced him. Now, the lowest salary a year that a WWE person makes a year is $350K. So you're already in the 1%. And all you're doing is sitting and catering. Or backstage. Or at home. So he was making more than the standard amount. He's making a lot of money and essentially failed in pro wrestling. Now he's going with the Bills, who have an undersized D-line room, if you just look at Ed Oliver and other guys on that D-line. So he's supposed to come into the NFL, never having played before, knowing as soon as he gets into a fight in camp, he's going to bend somebody into a goddamn pretzel. Because he's a wrestler. You don't fight wrestlers. You shoot wrestlers. That's the rule. For every football player, who had a wrestler as a head coach. Because my head coach in high school was a little small ass safety, but he was a wrestler, and you don't fight wrestlers. In house parties, in college, maybe in high school, you might get lucky, but you just don't fight wrestlers. The older you get in life, you just don't do that because they could literally fucking bend your organs in half to a floppy disk. So to finish off this tangent about why this is going to be really shitty, it's like a great PR move, but also this dude had a sexual assault charge or case following him years ago that was so bad, they created a new law based on what he did. Now, the Bills got rid of Matt Aranzia because of him being accused of rape at San Diego State, even though it was proven to be 100% false. He wasn't even there when the girl got a train ran on her. And he cleared his name, and now I think he's on the Chiefs or some shit. And he's resuming his NFL career, but he had his life ruined by that. So you're going to bring in a guy who actually has like a legitimate charge against him, and you think he's going to make the team. He's not making the team. It's just a cool little thing to have. Billy Beane said he's still being...
Nobody's talking about the fucking Bills right now. Just put it to you that way. But like, yeah.
They're all saying, oh, we're Stephon Diggs left. Trading him was the best thing for him. Billy Beane's like, this is Josh Allen's offense. Okay, motherfucker, remember you said that, because if he chokes this year again in the playoffs, I'm going to tell you he was never better than Lamar.
But yeah, Max, you have anything
Herbert
to add?
Yeah. So my take on this is this just kind of reminds me of that conversation where Austin Rivers brought up 30 NFL or NBA guys can make it to the NFL.
Here we go.
This is another proven case of that, man. I think I respect NFL's craft, the guys that are in there. You can't just. We always look at like these freak athletes and we'll say, oh, they could do whatever. You look at a guy who's buff walking down the street, oh, that dude looks like he could be in the league. They don't have the skill. It takes skill, talent, and repetition to get to that point. You can't just hop into it with all these pros and think you're going to do something. I want to see this guy against D2 football athletes. I want to see what he can do. He can muscle them. But you have the technique to do the job. Absolutely not.
All right, next one. The Tyson and Paul match is postponed due to Tyson's health. I'm going to just say this. Whoever keeps recording fucking whatever Paul's doing at his house needs to fucking chill, bro. Because that whole
boyfriend,
when he was all outside crying in the rain, that shit was so staged, bro. Like, shut the fuck up.
I mean, he worked at Disney.
You know he got insurance. You know he probably getting paid off of the fight getting moved anyway. So, I don't know, man. As much as shit as I talk about him, he knows how to make money. So, I'm sure he'll still find a way to make money out of this whole situation. That's my take on it.
Well, we all want to see the fight, man. We all want to see Jake Paul, Jake or Logan, whichever one of them. We want to see them both.
Same dude.
We want to see them both get fucked up,
Logan's
bro.
actually a really good wrestler.
And no one better than Mike Tyson to do. We all want to see it. It's unfortunate that we can't watch it happen sooner. But we know how this goes. This is a Paul show, man. And they're putting it on, and they got the money backing it, and they're more than likely going to come out on top. And we're all paying for it. We're paying to watch it. So, my opinion is, yeah, it's sad that we can't see it. We'd love to see someone knock one of these Pauls the fuck out. But we can't. Maybe this is even staged. Maybe they didn't sell it, or I don't know. Maybe it's staged. You know what? I don't think anything they do is not staged.
That's fair.
I don't think anything they do isn't staged.
That's fair. And, I mean, what if Mike's health is just... He said on a podcast a while ago he only got a couple years left anyway. That motherfucker did damage to his body. He's not a normal human. If we did the shit that Mike Tyson did to our bodies, first off, we wouldn't survive Robin Givens. That bitch is the devil. That bitch is the devil's worst nightmare. Like, Robin Givens is a horrible bitch. Her and her mother. Like, that's just on wax. She's took off on women before. She's taken off on people. So the fact that she had Mike looking worse than R. Kelly when he was crying to Robin Givens, like, that shit was bad. So, yeah, the Pauls know how to make money.
They know how to make money.
They also are getting sued because of the whole crypto shit. And I want to see how that turns out more than I want to see the fight, because I wasn't going to pay to see that fight. I don't want to watch that shit. I want to see Mike Tyson get hit with a liver shot and then die of complications. And then we got to live with the fact that fucking Jake Paul killed Mike Tyson.
You got a point, right?
Then I got to fight that white boy. Then I got to get in shape. And then I got to become a killer boxer. Like, I got to be the one to kill Jake Paul. And it's going to be weird.
But also,
you should probably put your football away before you do any of that.
First off, it's not food, but that's why I said I would lose the weight and just become a fucking skilled fighter.
But also,
and I have to do what he did to Leon Spinks.
I have a question, though. Do you think if his health was that bad, wouldn't the fight be, like, completely off?
I mean, I don't think Anderson Silva got knocked the fuck out because he just don't have hands, because that's Anderson Silva. Tyron Woodley, all these cats that he knocked out, none of them look legit except Nate Robinson. But again, and he's dying and needs a kidney, actually. So prayers up for Nate Robinson.
Shit, that's crazy.
He's actually dying of like a severe kidney disorder. He really needs a kidney.
Prayers up to him,
but
and Mike Tyson.
Ric Flair keeps getting new fucking body parts, but that's a whole nother story. I'd rather watch Ric Flair wrestle another match and then have a heart attack halfway through like he did with his last match, because he almost died. He passed out. He just had heart surgery. He passed out in his Ric Flair's last match ever with Jeff Jarrett. It's fucking terrible. Watch it. It's so bad you can't look away. I would rather see that again than watch Mike Tyson fight, because I know that old motherfucker can't fight. Remember when he fought Roy Jones?
Yep.
That felt like Roy
I don't think
Jones
anyone wants to remember
Roy Jones is like, don't hit me, Mike. Don't hit me, Mike.
Hey.
I don't want to see Jake Paul fucking knock out Mike Tyson, because it's disrespectful to the sport.
Absolutely.
Because you're not trying to, like, when I saw Deontay Wilder get knocked out by that Asian dude, I was like, bro, you got to stop. You should have stopped 2 fights ago. Now you can't even be dancing with Joshua. Like, I wish you would stop.
I feel like this whole Paul thing is like, okay.
Actually, remember what Ngannou get knocked out by Anthony Joshua?
Yeah.
That's what I want to see happen to Paul, but Paul won't fight any of these real boxers out here.
I feel like the whole thing that's going on with him is boxing was dying. They said there's a lot of money in boxing. People were getting paid a lot of money to do boxing. Let's go revive it.
Shit, that porn star just beat up Paige Van Zandt. I think bad bitch. Too.
Like I said, I'm not taking anything away from their promotions.
Paige Van Zandt got knocked out.
I think they could do more for boxing than De La Hoya or TMT did. I think it just doesn't need to be them.
I disagree, man. I feel like what I think is
Some of these
major. I mean, yeah, they
think about it. Tank Davis won't fight nobody. Canelo won't fight nobody. Canelo already being called out for ducking real Mexicans and ducking all the fights he needs to take.
What are we all into?
Ryan Garcia still on that pipe.
We all want to see
Ryan Garcia on that fucking choo-choo.
We all want to go. We all want to see a great fight. And if we could see these social media people, they love the attention.
Porn stars are knocking out UFC fighters, bro. I forget the porn star's name, but she a baddie. She beat the fuck out of Paige Van Zandt, but they called it a draw. Paige Van Zandt be getting her shit cooked in boxing, but she gets paid more in bare knuckle boxing than she did in UFC.
Let's go back to what I said in the last take. The technique of the athlete with the experience of actually going through the ringers and getting into the sport and working their way into the sport. Do you really think these guys could fuck up real boxers?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
You want to get lucky with one person. And Tommy Fury not even good. That's Tyson Fury's little brother.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not even that good. He can't even get into America.
It's not
They're not fighting real amateurs.
It's not about techniques. It's not about how great of a punch you could take. It's not about any of that shit. It's all about, let's promote it, make it sound good, make it look good, and we'll make money off of it. It's crazy what people do for $1, huh?
Because Mayweather knocked out Logan Paul.
Isn't it crazy?
People forget Mayweather knocked him out in that fight, and he held him up and said, "Nah." Because like usually they'll have it to where like if the fight goes on longer, you make more money. So Mike Tyson knocks him out in the first round, he don't get no money.
It's crazy. It's crazy what people do for $1.
Yeah, I'd want to see Drake fight somebody. I want to see Drake fight the weekend.
All right, let's move on to fair or fade. Next one, you pretty much just say, is it fair or is it a fade? It's pretty self-explanatory. First one up, Ryan Kelly. He was on an interview this week talking about the 18-game series, and he made a little snarky comment. It was just basically like 18 games sounds great when Rodgers talking about it on Pat McAfee, but just essentially applying Goodell's not the one who actually has to play the game. So
yeah, go put on a helmet for 18 games and tell me how your body feels. That's why they're trying to overhaul the offseason program.
So fair or fade, Kelly calling out the commissioner.
It's fair. He's right. And that's a dude who on Hard Knocks, the world found out his fucking wife had a miscarriage or his kid died. Like, and he still kept playing. He still, I think, he has a Iron Man streak going for games started for Alabama center Ryan Kelly. Like, and the fact that the Bears are going to be on Hard Knocks, you're going to see stories and all this shit. The preseason doesn't really matter. Like, the preseason is non-existent pretty much.
Disagree with you on that.
It's not going forward. It's going to be non-existent. There's only going to be like 3 games, and they're going to lessen that. They're going to go from 3 preseason games to 1. That's already in the works. They're already trying to incorporate the season. Look, we got this time period, these 19 weeks plus the playoffs. Let's maximize it by just taking away the games that don't count. Think about how much money they're going to get from betting on these games that used to be preseason games.
True. So I think the preseason doesn't matter to like a casual fan or a fan. It's boring, whatever. But these guys that are trying to like, show off their skills, especially in football, man, it's so fucking hard to show off your skill. It's hard.
When there's just a Hall of Fame
You
game.
got one game to show off that you can make a team, and you got one game to show me you can feed your family. You got one game to show me.
2 plays in practice.
And if you don't make it this year, try again next year. When we got younger guys that got a full year of football, a full year of college football in the SEC.
And this COVID generation is over. Like the COVID football players, after this season, it's done.
I don't think. Well, and then my next thing is
number 7-year seniors.
My next thing is this though. With football, with all sports, man, this is all a money game. You wanna get paid more. You got to play more. All of us.
Risk it.
This is life. You want to play more. You want to get paid more. You got to work more. You want to play like 18 games, man. I think we're going to see shortened careers. I think we're going to see incomplete like seasons. Not seeing the best team win. It's gonna that one extra week is gonna have a big effect on the game. I think 16 was plenty of games. I was thinking like a couple years ago, damn, how these guys go put their bodies on the line for 16 weeks?
17 now. Now they want to go to 18. 18 and 19.
And then you give the guys who are trying to make it, it really does matter, your depth. When you look at like your deep into your depth chart, when you do need guys, when guys get hurt, you give them one shot to figure it out if they're going to make it or not.
And then you got B.J. Thompson, the edge rusher who went for the Chiefs. He had a seizure, and then that triggered a heart attack. He's unconscious right now, but he's stable in the hospital. But he's medically unconscious.
You got these guys in training camp going at it. You know what I think? If they do it this way.
Billy Price retired because he had pre-embolism. What's his face? For Corey Linsley for the Chargers, he's retiring because he has heart problems. They just cut him.
If they do it this way, then what they need to go ahead and do is they need to set up some scrimmages earlier on in July.
Yeah, and that's kind of been the trend. There's been a lot more joint practices, a lot more
set up the scrimmages
practices
earlier on. Have your finalized rosters earlier on. Yeah, then have one preseason game. I don't know if that's what's going on or not, but that's what needs to happen. So you give people a fair shot to make it. How many people could go out there? Let's say the NFL front office. These guys, you guys got 1 week to prove me you're good for this job.
Yeah. And if you're not on a 9-month deal, you're just permanent part-time. So essentially, an 18-game schedule is going to turn practice squad guys who would have made the team and the part-time employees all season.
So I think where the rubber meets the road is Kenny, you brought up the NFLPA's proposal to basically change the offseason. Essentially what they want to do is make it a little bit longer, a little bit less intense, but a little bit longer. Just so like more, basically a longer training camp, but less practices, a longer period for mini camps, but less, all at once, which the coaches just kind of laughed at because they're like, well, if we wanted to coach all year, we would have stayed in college.
These are all factors that are going to change the game, though. They're going to change who the best team is.
But what I'm saying is, and this is something Kenny and I have talked about, is like football has always been a moneymaker. Like,
right.
It's at a community level, at college level, football level, like. But the thing is, the other reason why it makes money is because it's pretty seasonal. It's pretty much half the year where you're focused on football, and then the other half you're doing whatever else you do. So essentially, making everyone full time, making everything go year round, like you said, Max, it's going to change everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also going to change how these players prep and how they keep their bodies right. Mm-hmm. And so for me, like, the thing is, though, like, everything we know about this Players Association is that they're weak. They always cave. They always say they're going to talk about walking out, and then they sign a deal a year early. They're not willing to go out there and sit on a lawn like these college admins and college, lunch workers and all these LAUSD that we've seen, Starbucks workers. Like, these professional athletes aren't going to do that, and people aren't going to feel bad for them. So I don't know if any of it's going to change, but I think a guy like Ryan Kelly, someone you have to respect, kind of calling out the league, like, I think that's at least a start. So hopefully it'll build some momentum, and players will start sticking up for themselves.
Hopefully he doesn't get blackballed like J.C. Treader and every other past NFLPA president, or just
pretty much
that, because that's the funny part. They'll want you on that side. Oh, you're the vice president. You're this, like Jaylen Brown is what, the VP of the NBA,
something like
Players
that,
Association.
Yeah.
I forget who the president is, but
I think it's Chris Paul. Right?
I think it's CJ McCollum.
CJ McCollum, and then Jaylen Brown's VP. But when you look at it later in those guys' careers, they're going to get blackballed out of the league. Kevin Mawae got blackballed out of the NFL. And he was NFL president, or NFL, Players Association president. So it's like, if there are guys who aren't even reading through, there openly guys have come out and said people aren't reading. They're not taking this seriously. So the next generation of athletes are going to be screwed. And it's funny because you look at college, high school to college, that pipeline changed first. And the NFL's been watching.
Well, as players early enroll and start school,
there's so much money being
early.
made in high school league. You're talking about flag football the other day. There's so much money being made in camps and flag football leagues. Now it's going to be in the Olympics. There's women's flag football. They just came up with the Kobe Grinches, the cleats. That shit look crazy. Like, there's so much more money now. Yep. And think of all the accessories you could sell in flag football tournaments. Everybody can wear flag football shit. The armbands, the swag, the cleats. You get fit, you get active. Even if you're, fam, take your Bluetooth off. Take your phone.
It's not on Bluetooth.
Oh. But yeah, there's just so much. There's going to be so much changing. The league is going to look totally different in like 5 years.
Sure.
So it's like, I think
sooner
if they're not willing to sacrifice now, the players are going to lose all leverage.
Yeah.
And they've slowly been gamming away their leverage for about a decade now. Maurice Smith isn't involved anymore, so somebody else is going to have to take the blame.
This has been the obstacle in life, bro. Like the workers versus the bosses, man.
Yep.
And you need to find somebody who could lead the right way and create that path for the league. It seems like they haven't found it, but it's, you know what? The group that they're going against, of any group in professional sports, that's probably the toughest one.
For sure. It's the most gated.
But I mean,
it's the most guarded.
if you look at if we've learned anything from Tom Brady retiring,
They don't even like people that were grandfathered in. That's why the NFL is.
they don't even let like old former players be position coaches.
That's a tough one.
Imagine if Deion Sanders wanted to be a cornerback coach in the NFL right now. He wouldn't get the job.
All right.
Hall of Fame corner, though.
The last one. Jaguars released kicker Brian McManus due to a sexual assault scandal that's hanging over him. Fair or fade?
I mean, they had another kicker anyway. And then I think the Commanders cut somebody, too.
Oh, yeah. It was the Commanders. I don't know why I said Jaguars. He was on the Jaguars last year.
But yeah, McManus
He's on the Commanders
was
now.
on the Broncos.
It was the Commanders.
He was on the Broncos a couple years ago. But yeah,
He was on the Broncos for a minute. He was
he was on the Broncos for a long time. But then they brought in the Saints kicker.
Yeah, I always drafted him in fantasy because Denver, the low
The Donkeys.
altitude.
He has
Low
a strong
altitude helps the
leg.
kicks go far.
He has a strong leg for sure. I mean, the Commanders can't really afford to have that energy. Like, Baca got a weird case. Why is he around? Like, I wouldn't play Drake in any fucking facility.
I think
if was
this is
an
just
NFL
kind
team.
of the precedent now. Like, if you got a kicker with issues, just find another kicker.
I just wish, like, apologize. I wish they would just admit that they did Marquette King wrong. There's some shitty punters in the league.
That's not happening.
It won't, but like he could still punt. McAfee was allowed to be a sports trailblazing icon worth billions of dollars, but Marquette King, who had a YouTube channel, was doing all types of other shit, was blacklisted. Oh yeah, I actually got another one for Fair Fade.
All right, if it's trash, I'm going to be mad.
It's not.
If it's
So
trash and if it's something that you could just put in your rant, I'm going to be double mad.
nah, because I want to know how
I'm gonna
Max
put
feels
you in
about
the
this.
stomach until your barbecue that you ate earlier comes
You're
out.
not. You're not.
That's
First
how mad
off,
I am gonna be.
you see me throw up. That's very hellacious.
That's going to be a lot of shit coming out, too.
Yeah, it's gonna feel like a demonic possession if I start throwing up. Like the room's gonna shake. I'm gonna be like, go in my room and get the salt.
All right, man.
All right, so the St. Louis Battlehawks hosting a playoff game for the XFL, and now whatever the fuck those two leagues combined to be, I don't know what
The
they are.
UFL.
The UXFL, whatever the fuck it is.
It's the UFL.
They've already fucking tanked and lost their TV deals, so whatever. Well, USFL has Fox, but the XFL
It's the
lost.
UFL. They're together. The UFL.
Yeah, but I'm saying the U part is the USFL, which always had TV rights. The XFL's fucked. They didn't have any. So they're being carried, and they collapsed half their league. They should have just kept the teams. They're fucking stupid. But whatever. So first playoff game, home playoff game in St. Louis in like 25 fucking years for the St. Louis Battlehawks. And it took a team not in the NFL to do it. A team from the USFL. Is that fair or fade?
I don't think that stat's right, bro.
It's probably not 25 years, but
pretty
it's
sure-
like 20 years.
I'm pretty sure the Cardinals have had a home playoff game.
I said St. Louis
That's St.
football
Louis.
team. St. Louis football team. St. Louis Rams. That was how long ago? Like 20 years, right?
Yeah, but there was that whole game where Michael Vick scored on them in the dome. That wasn't 20.
Bro,
more
go.
than
What was the
25 years
last
ago.
St. Louis Rams home playoff game? That was a very long time ago, Pete. And the LA Rams
That
don't
wasn't
count.
25 years ago, bro.
That's why I said it's probably closer to 20 or 18 realistically, but probably 20.
When I said if it's trash, save it.
It's
You
not
should've
trash
said
though.
that.
It's not trash. You just have to Google it and you realize, damn,
You know what? I'm going to say that is fair because
the Rams got LA got a Super Bowl. They get a UFL game, a UFL playoff game.
let's go back to what seems to be kind of like the topic here of the show today. Money. Who's investing in a St. Louis football team? No one. No one. If he's going to do it, they'll take his money. But no one's invested in a St. Louis football team. You got to get that first. Then you'll get all the. I mean, you bring football back to St. Louis. I know there's a bunch of St. Louis football fans still. They'll get the money. They'll get the playoff games. They'll get all that crap going. So, I'm sorry, not crap. All that stuff going on over there. Yeah, they're. I don't know, but going back to yours too, Pete. fair or fade on the kicker. I think it's fair. I think anytime anyone gets accused of anything, it's like a no-brainer. Remove them and bring them back when it's right. If they make up, if they prove themselves innocent, or they find a way to get back, then you bring them back. That's just kind of how it goes. No matter what, you remove them from that situation.
It was 20 years. The last playoff game was 2004.
So I was exactly right.
No, you were wrong. You said 25.
I said it was probably 20.
25.
I said it was probably. I corrected myself. I said it was probably 20.
Off of it. So it was 20.
So 20.
They got to get a team. They got to get
2 decades.
They got to get someone. Here it is, man. They got to find somebody who's going to invest in a team in that area. That area.
Do we need the WNBA
Well, the problem
to invest
is
in the XFL?
they had public money for it. They
lost their TV deal.
They offered $400 million to keep the team there, but Stan Kroenke just didn't want to have the team there. That's really what it came down to.
But it's a really beautiful stadium in Waterfront. They got something planned.
They low-key tanked that team to get them out of there.
That's
how the
game goes, man.
Can you prove that?
You can't prove that, but...
Okay, so...
Because the Chargers didn't tank out of San Diego. They just fucking sucked.
They made the playoffs for 5 years, and then they just didn't make the playoffs the last 8 years.
Jeff Fisher's to blame for that.
No, let's go back to what we were talking about. What union agreed upon that? The toughest union in sports. So we're going to get them out of there and move on to bigger and better
Jerry
things.
Jones got money off that.
That's the same thing that's happening to the Oakland Raiders. That's the same thing that's happening to the Oakland A's. It's happening, man. It's that union they have so much power right now, man.
When they want something, it happens.
Yeah, they didn't make the playoffs for 10 years before they left.
That's crazy to go 20 years in like St. Louis. How are those St. Louis fans gonna feel knowing they got Marshall Faulk jerseys and you're telling them they're not really a Rams fan?
The same way the Oakland like sports community feels. The same way the LA community feels.
Because I'll pop off on somebody if they say I'm not a Raiders fan.
Bro, it's part of it.
Especially if they're from Vegas. If they say I'm not a Raiders fan, my family know MC Hammer. I got to stomp you out now.
All right. This last part of the show, basically, it's just like your 1 to 2 minute rant where you get to talk about anything you didn't get to finish talking about. Any last words you want to say?
Just anything.
Talk about your week, whatever.
The WNBA.
It's your time. So you can go first, Max.
Sure. So I see a lot of news buzzing around Dan Hurley today for the Lakers. I see a whole lot of news. I don't know if Dan Hurley's listening to me or not, but do not take that job, man. You will be look at the history of that team and how they do their coaches. I've been in bad jobs, bad situations, and see how they do their employees. This looks like one of those situations. You will not be in control like you have been in college. You will be high pressure to get to the finals. If you don't in 2 years, you saw what happened to somebody who won the what was that? What was that thing we were celebrating about a few months?
Season tournament.
What was that big deal? What we do it? What was it called?
Yeah, I don't know. The play-in.
The Commissioner's Cup. Oh wait, that's the WNBA. They do it better.
Who? What was that? What was that? Who sponsored
the midseason championships? Whatever the fuck that was. The play-in tournament.
None of that shit matters.
Midseason tournament.
You can bring a trophy to the team, and they'll still cut your ass at the end of the year. And I've heard personally from
even Vogel won a ring. He only got one bad season.
I've heard personally from someone that's worked with the Lakers. They'll have you at the dinner table, welcome you in. I've been in jobs like this before. They'll sit you down, steak and lobster, and one thing goes wrong. Behind closed doors, they won't tell you, but you're out. Dan Hurley, do not take that job. Don't ruin your reputation. Keep it going with UConn. You got a strong thing going there, for one.
Back.
For two. And back-to-back. How many coaches have won a back-to-back championship in the NCAA?
Not very many.
Coach K.
Don't fucking leave. That is a horrible move. Don't leave, Dan Hurley. Two. That's what I got.
All right. For me, I had a good week this week. No complaints. Kept the status quo going. Got on the grill today for the game. I didn't fuck up the steak, which was nice.
Actually made some good steak today.
The burgers were good as well.
Marinated the fuck out of that.
Shout out to Kenny marinating the steak. Shit was good.
I marinated it with love too.
He was rubbing it and shit.
And I gotta say, I've been eating Pete's Grilling for since 2011.
Here we go.
Like,
And
he
this
ate
is the
fried
first-
Pikachu 2 years ago.
This might be the first time I've ever had some good food that came off that grill,
Here we
man.
go. He's lying.
Shout out to Pete Senior for buying him that
He's
new
lying.
grill, man.
No salmonella and the smoker. Don't forget the smoker. The smoker changes lives.
Anyways, but yeah, man. Other than that, just looking forward to a chill weekend. I just need to recharge a little bit. I need to get my finances up. Got way too drunk on Friday and Sunday this past weekend. So, yeah, man. So yeah, when Max asked me what we're getting into this weekend, I said nothing.
You know what? Actually, I forgot to add one more thing on. You guys check me on it. I plan on doing a 72-hour fast this weekend.
Oh yeah,
No
yeah,
water.
that's what he said.
Don't do a juice cleanse for the love of fucking God.
Just water all
You end up with
weekend.
diabetes.
I think this might have been my last meal, the Pete's Burgers.
Okay, Kyrie. We'll see how it goes.
I'll do a 72-hour fast this weekend. I'll be eating again on Sunday.
All right.
Nothing but water.
Nothing but water.
No pills.
I'll probably do a fat burner or two.
That's bad.
That's word.
Don't
That's
do
horrible.
That. Don't do that.
You're asking to be dehydrated.
Don't
actually.
do that. Don't do that.
You'll end up in the hospital like me
Actually,
a year ago.
I think
Don't do
messing
that.
around with fat burners is why I got stomach issues.
Yeah, that's how you get ulcers.
Okay,
That's how you end up like Mike Tyson.
I'm going to tell you guys, man. I've done research on this.
We've all said that.
I'll work my way into the bone broth. I know to sprinkle a little bit of salt in your water, some pink Himalayan salt.
Ooh.
I know you could add some 0-calorie electrolytes into your water.
You did say pink Himalayan salt.
Nothing but what I got. All my gallon. I got about 7-8 gallons of water ready to go.
That spring water, or what are we talking? Did you get fancy with the water, or is it just straight up?
I only drink spring water. Other water makes no sense.
Damn. So Brita filters, you're totally anti-Brita filter?
I buy bottled spring water.
Damn. He said he's anti-Brita filter.
Bro, we want to go into the water game. Purified water is a lot worse for you and causes a lot more health issues than spring water.
Oh, shit. Tell him. Kill him. Tell him. Go ahead. Keep going.
That's all I got to say about that. We could do a whole health podcast I can help
He
you
said,
out with, too.
he said, y'all can go do the research yourself.
You have health issues.
Okay,
It's
but
probably because
still,
you're
what are you
drinking purified
talking
water.
about? Still, what are you talking about? The fucking fat burner.
Fat burner, I'm trying to trim a little bit of I'm trying to get the
Yeah,
summer,
but-
summer
Dog,
bod
you're
ready.
not fat.
You don't.
trying to
But
get
you
the
don't
summer
need.
bod ready,
You don't
man.
need a fat
Just
burner.
do sit-ups. I'm fat. I'm morbidly
You don't need a
obese.
fat burner. Just
I take
don't-
Ozempic, bro.
Just don't vape and go for a jog, bro.
Yeah, you're just asking to get dehydrated.
Cardio? I don't do cardio.
You putting a lot of stress on your fucking
Heart,
liver,
respiratory
and heart.
system.
What else you don't know is I do use a lot of vitamins. I take my fish oil
Yeah,
every
but
morning.
fat burners are
But you-
not
yeah,
a vitamin. They're
fat
different.
burners are-
Thermogenics are different.
That's just like, hey, let me start a
Max,
fire in my body.
I was doing fat burners when I was 17, bro.
I
That's
believe it.
probably why.
I believe it. That's why he looks like
I've never done a
he's
fat
permanently
burner.
pudgy.
I've
Yeah,
used
don't do
a
them.
CLA before. If I do a fat
Especially
burner,
not drinking.
bro, I've done the research on this. It's okay to do a fat burner while you do a fast.
Yeah, bro. I don't.
But-
You're supposed to take them with food. You're not
Yeah.
even supposed to take them on an empty stomach.
If anything, take the fat
And you're
burner once you
supposed to
start
drink-
eating again.
And you're supposed to drink like 3 times the amount of your regular water when you're on there.
Did I
You
not
got to
tell
drink
you
like 3
I got,
gallons of spring water.
Did I tell you
in 3
that?
days.
So you need to drink like 6 times the amount of water.
You got to drink about 6 gallons of water. It's going to do all that.
For the weekend?
For 3 days, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the plan. I've been telling you guys that.
But you need to take even more if
With
you're
your
gonna take
body
a fat
type,
burner.
you don't really need to do a fat burner. If you need to take the
You don't
fat
need a
burner
fat
once
burner,
you
bro.
start eating again. Not when you're
Yeah,
not
take
eating.
the fat burner when you're eating.
That's
You
like
don't
I
need
did
the
a
fat
juice
burner.
cleanse when I wasn't fucking eating, and then I lost the ability to eat.
You're just
I
gonna
had to get rushed to the hospital.
You're just gonna fuck up your stomach acid and it's
You're
not,
gonna fuck
it's not
up
good, bro.
You're gonna fuck up some shit in your liver, your pancreas. You're gonna have to get an ultrasound. Trust me, dudes get ultrasounds. That's the
You're
thing.
gonna be all hot and sweaty and hungry, bro. You're gonna be fucking miserable for 3 days
Your
already.
sugar's gonna be 270 for no reason.
You're gonna be miserable
And they won't
and
let you out the
fucking
hospital.
hyped and jacked, bro.
Fuck yeah, bro. Let's
Yeah,
go.
you're gonna be fucking punching walls.
Luka.
Fuck.
You be
fuck
punching
Luka.
walls, bro.
I'm just kidding. I fuck with it.
All right. Anyways, before we got on a tangent about Max fucking fat burner abuse,
Yeah, I'm triggered.
that's crazy.
Bro, it's like what? It's like 2 fat burners.
You don't need
Famous
that,
last
bro.
words, Max.
Oh my god.
You want to know what I told him after I had the juice cleanse? It's just on fruit and vegetable.
It is.
And
I've
what
got
hap-
bone broth with sodium in it. It should be all right, right?
I mean, bone broth. You're gonna drink bone broth and water?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit of bone broth. If I'm feeling like I really need something, then I got the support of bone broth.
No, you would actually need real food, not like a liquid, not like soup.
Weren't you the one who told me to listen to
Sodium
Atomic
dries
Habits?
you out.
Sodium actually
Salt
hydrates
dries
you.
No, but like if you have more than enough,
If you want to make a lifestyle change, you make a lifestyle change. You don't binge and just pray
I made a
it
lifestyle
works.
change, man.
do it for one day, but don't do it for 3. Don't binge for 3 days. Don't fucking not eat.
You're
for
just
3
doing
days.
you're just doing an abusive thing. It's just healthy. It's just you're doing it the opposite. It's like if I said I was going to go on a binge and just drink for 3 days, you're just doing the opposite of that, but it's the same psychological
Okay, let me help you guys out here.
investment and reward.
I'm not going to sit here and do. I quote myself.
Now you have to come back on the pod to tell us what happened.
Let me quote myself. I said I might do a fat burner. That's exactly what I said at the beginning.
But you don't eat either. You don't eat it.
Hold on,
One or
hold
two.
on, hold on, bro. Hold on. I think I'll be okay if I did a fat burner or 2.
We're gonna pray for you.
I'm not going to die if I do a fat burner or 2 while fasting. It's
You never
completely
know.
fucking safe, man. If I do, then it's not because of the fat burner. 2 fat burners.
That's
It
what
could be
you
a
think,
bad
bro.
match. They sell fat burners with fentanyl in it. You never know.
Okay, so then why even take the fat burner?
You don't
then?
need it.
That's the thing. You're
You're
gonna
not
need
fat.
You
Because
need,
I'm going to tell you why.
you
You're
need
not
like,
fat. That's the
When
point.
you do a diet or when you do something like that,
That's not a diet.
I don't know what your mindset is, but mine is you want to get every little bit that you can in that time.
So
frame.
take my magnesium
every
citrate.
little bit that you can while you're in that time.
He said
frame.
magnesium citrate. You know
Take
he's
my
serious.
magnesium citrate.
He said the
That
word
will clean
right.
out your liver. You don't need a fat burner, bro.
You can take
Doing a fat
bentonite.
burner
You can take
to clean out my
bentonite
liver.
clay.
Plus, you need a fat burner for at least like 10 days before it really kicks into your system and really does what it's supposed to do.
Take it once during a 3-day span. I think it's gonna help you. And again, you're not fat.
All right, well,
You don't need it.
Just
How
stick-
about you do it without
just
the
stick-
fat burner? And
it's
if that
like-
works, then do it with the fat
It's
burner.
like just
the
stick with
second time.
one drug. Your one drug is
Yeah.
you're just gonna do the water. Just
Don't
stick with
change
that.
variables.
You don't need to do 2 drugs just because you can.
Yeah.
Just do the one, see how that goes, and then maybe next time when you do it again, then you.
How many
double
medical
down.
professionals did you consult before you decided to do this?
Google.
Yeah, man.
You got medical professionals in your corner. You got to consult them first.
You guys are definitely not medical professionals, man.
My mom's a nurse.
The fuck.
Anyways,
I think we're just worried because, like,
this.
you know,
All right,
Okay,
Kenny,
okay.
go ahead.
you said fat burners and like our red flag, our triggers kicked in,
Damn.
but everything else was good.
I got
Are they
fat
really that bad?
burners. They're not good.
I like the pink Himalayan salt though
I've
They're
heard-
not good.
I've heard so many people say fat burners don't do much.
because they're already fat, so
Or
they're
they're
already
not fat.
They're working out,
And they're already on like 3 different things.
and those motherfuckers might be on gear.
This dude
People will bulk up on gear and use fat burners.
I was talking to,
Shit's
the
wild.
the last person I talked to about this, dude is fucking jacked.
What's his BMI?
But the thing is, people like that, the people like that,
17%.
the thing is, like, people like that have been
A lot
taking,
less than that, bro.
Anything less than 5% isn't even natural.
Max, the thing is, people like that have been taking supplements their whole life.
I wouldn't doubt
Or at
this
least
guy
5
was.
to 10
So-
years. 5 to 10 years.
He has to probably take 2 or 3 scoops of pre-workout to even get a little bit of lift. He probably drinks 5 cups of coffee to get a little bump. So, yeah, the
Or
fat
6
burner for him
protein shakes.
is not doing anything. But if yeah, exactly. But if you look at the amount of caffeine in there, there's a shit ton of caffeine in there. If anything, just take amino acids, bro, because the
Have
amino
those.
acids are in the fat burners anyways.
Have calories.
Everything has calories.
5 calories is not going to hurt you.
The amino acids I have.
You were out taking pre-workout and then
25 calories.
fasting.
25 calories.
I don't do pre-workout.
You were out doing pre-workout. And then
All right. Anyways, go ahead, Kenny. Let's
All right.
close out the show.
To close it out, people really got to just accept the fact that Diana Taurasi was right and that this chick's out here fighting for like a pension and like $100K a year
Mortgages.
mortgages. They in college debt and they were on scholarship for 4 years. How the fuck do you explain that? That math don't even make sense. And there's a lot of people who didn't get NIL, like Skylar Diggins. So it's a lot of people who didn't get NIL, had to fight their whole life, insert a color purple reference. All their life they had to fight. The chick from the Chicago Sky they talking about got kicked off past teams for fighting. Let's be honest, the Sparks are a dumpster fire, and I don't remember where she was the first team that drafted her, but she was a first-round pick herself. And there are first-round picks who have been cut and had to go to another team. The WNBA was not ready for this much star power this fast. And for just the scheduling alone is stupid as fuck. Because how do you sit up here, the men's basketball draft, that was creepy. That threw me off. All right.
Is that me?
That's the girl downstairs.
Is that Jess?
That's from downstairs. That's somebody from downstairs. Somebody that sounded like somebody from
Okay,
downstairs.
let me go ahead. Let me insert myself here.
Okay.
They're calling you, Pete.
Yeah, Pete, you got to get up.
So let me go ahead and say this. This is a professional league. Any league where someone comes in and they think they're going to come in and run the league, everyone's going to try and prove their point.
You're catching an elbow in your sternum.
Everyone's going to try and prove a point. Everyone's going to come at you with full on force, full on firepower. No one's going to fucking back down just because it's women's basketball. I've been watching women's basketball. People second this. I've been watching women's basketball since 2001.
Cheryl fucking Swoops.
The reason why
Cynthia
I
Cooper.
The reason why I love women's basketball is because I think they're a lot more fundamental than men. And
By far.
I'm a basketball geek at this point. And these women are a lot more fundamental, and and not only that though. If you've ever been around a WNBA player or WNBA teams, these women they're a lot of fun to be around. They hype up. They just have a different glow about them, more than men. You can tell. Absolutely. It's about money, but more for them. They got to prove themselves more than anybody in the professional sports world. And what I love that Caitlin Clark is bringing is she's bringing that added competition. What I love about the league that they're doing is they're adding teams on. They're going to have to start. They're going to have to make this. They're going to have to add more games, add more teams.
Teams to Oakland for sure.
You know what's funny, man? I had a coworker that I worked with, and she asked me. This is back when I worked with the Clippers during the Sterling era. She asked me, should I intern with the WNBA? Or
Hurry up, man. This dude Barry's about to wreck the whole podcast.
Okay, we'll save this one for the second show. Save this for the second show.
All right, man.
But yeah, bottom line is, when it comes to WNBA, I'm pretty much just glad that they outside squabbling and it's competition. Like, y'all act like Lisa Leslie wasn't out there scrapping.
Let me ask you this.
Candace Parker was fighting for her life.
Hold on, let me ask you this. When the NFL started, when the NBA started, how many teams did they have, and how long did it take for these teams to get, or how long did it take for the leagues to develop?
Once they got more black players.
It's not.
And it took like 30 years.
That's
30,
not what
40
it was.
years.
That's not what it was. What it was we'll go back to the whole point of the show. Once they saw there was a money backing into it, people will feed into it. That's when they started to develop it. They're at that stage right now where they go up or down. You got the talent. We've known that the WNBA has had a lot of talent. My favorite player in the WNBA, Asia Wilson.
Monster.
Beast.
36 points on what, like 14 to 20 shooting? Got hit in the face, busted her shit wide open. Like,
if anybody watches,
she's really going to be the greatest WNBA player by the time she's retired.
If you guys watch anybody, you got to watch Asia Wilson. She's a fucking beast, bro.
And go back to her college days. She's so much better than she was in college, and she was a monster in college.
You want to watch a great team? Go watch that Las Vegas Aces team. That's basketball played beautifully and to perfection.
Becky Hammond.
That's perfect basketball right there. And
they're going to be unbeatable for a long time until Chicago gets elite shooters.
That's not what it's going to be, man. It's going to be until Caitlin Clark. Nah. It's going to be the best player versus the best
Paige
team. That's how it goes.
is better than Caitlin Clark.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is. She's a fucking bucket. Before she got hurt, bro, she led them to a national title.
She's not better than Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark never won shit in college.
She's not better than Caitlin Clark.
She's better than Caitlin Clark. She
All right,
was
man. Can you just wrap up the fucking show?
And Juju Watkins out of USC is a monster too. She coming.
She's coming.
And they got the Francis chick from Beliebe, the Francis Beliebe chick. They got her and then Oregon State transfer.
I don't know who that is.
Women's basketball is better than it's ever been. And one day you're going to see a chick go like with a 40-inch vertical windmill. I've been saying this shit for 10 years.
I don't know who that is.
The best athletes don't even play women's basketball yet.
You said it, though. Juju.
You see a track, when you see, shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson, but when you see a track star with an insane vertical leap, windmill dunking, it's going to be a wrap.
By the way, did you know Cinnamon Lister works for the NBA?
The NBA or the WNBA?
NBA.
Yeah, Cinnamon Lister been making her rounds for a while. She was an assistant coach. Her sister was, I think, is still an assistant coach in the WNBA. The whole family's talented.
WNBA is boring, but man, if you're a basketball nerd, watch it. You love fundamentals.
It's the best
watch
time.
It. Shooting, you love shooters. You love shooting threes.
Connecticut Sky are undefeated.
All right, Kenny. Final words. You done? That's it?
Yeah, it was a great day. Pete didn't kill us, and
All right, Pete, what's your final words?
I really got to
I already got mine in.
I'm probably just going to have to get a second job as a cook because I kind of miss cooking. I'm not going to lie. I just don't want to do it when I'm home.
All right, well, this is Touchdowns and Tangents, touchdownsandtangents.com, TDs_tangents on Twitter and Instagram. Shout out to your favorite podcast app where you can find this podcast. Shout out to our affiliates and everyone who fucks with us. We are out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.